But anyway, Will was driving over to my house to write, and Joe was coming to my house to write, and but he's always late. The artist, you know, these artists, you can't do anything with them. But you know, we're always looking for ideas, so a lot of times when I'm in the car, I'll get some idea will pop into my head. Well, this particular day, Will had this idea pop into his head. Cool to be a fool. You know, he thought, that rhymes and that might be catchy, you know? And they always tell us to write what we know, so.
Spot on.
He came over and he told me those two lines, and he said, that's pretty dang country though. I said, Will, we're in Nashville. We write country music over here. So I said, I have to go to the post office. And we got in the car and went down to the post office and wrote the rest of the chorus on the way down. Got back to the house and Joe finally showed up. He liked the idea, and so this became a single on Joe. This was actually I want to say Publishers Award, won me a Publishers Award, and a BMI Songwriters Award for this song. It didn't go #1, but it was in the charts for like, I think 48 weeks or something like that. So that's almost a year. And it was the last single off of Man with a Memory, which was a great album that Joe, it was his debut album actually. So, made a video of this and everything. It's a pretty funny video, and it's called Cool to Be a Fool.
Come on now.
Here I sit, a nobody with no one. Being me ain't really all that fun. Leaving her wasn't really smart. Admitting I was wrong wouldn't be so hard. If it was cool to be a fool, I'd be the hippest guy around.
Yes, you would.
Heartache made you famous, I'd be known from town to town. Tears were made of pennies, and a cold beer brought her back. My bank account and silver steel would both be in black. If some Hollywood producer made a movie that was sad, not somebody lost the best thing I had. Hey, I could be a star if it was cool to be a fool. But we all know the way it really is. You don't get recognized for doing things like this. You spend a lot of time feeling sorry for yourself, and it doesn't really mean that much to anybody else. If it was cool to be a fool, I'd be the hippest guy around. If heartache made you famous, I'd be known from town to town. If tears were made of pennies, and a cold beer brought her back, my bank account and silver steel would both be in black. And if some Hollywood producer made a movie that was sad about some guy who lost the best thing he ever had, hey, I could be a star if it was cool to be a fool. If it was cool to be a fool, I'd be the hippest guy around. If heartache made you famous, I'd be known from town to town. If tears were made of pennies, and a cold beer brought her back, count and silver steel would all be in the back. And if some Hollywood producer made a movie that was sad about some guy who lost the best thing he ever had, hey, I could be a star if it was cool to be a fool. Hey, I could be a star if it was cool to be a fool.
CD.
Write what you know, right?
Write what you know. You know, that's the thing about writing. Every day is a little different day, you know. Sometimes it depends on who you're in the room writing with and what they say, or maybe something you thought of. And sometimes, you know, you write somebody else's story, like Steve does all the time now with Operation Song. That's exactly what they're doing. He's not writing his idea, he's writing their idea. And And I was blessed to write a song about someone's life that was very personal. And that was the grandfather of Hillary Scott with Lady Annabelle, who I knew. And I mentioned earlier I'm out on the road with Linda Davis and Lang Scott. Lang lost his dad to cancer after a long battle, so Hillary lost her grandfather, who she adored. And they told the story on the internet through the whole ordeal while they were at Vanderbilt University. They were with him the whole time. And when he passed, Hillary came off the road, and the father asked her, Lang asked her, he said, "Hey, Hillary," he said, "would you please go to your record label and ask them if they would allow you to record an album here in our little studio of old gospel songs that we could send out to people to say thank you for being so kind to the family." So she thought about it, and when she got back off the road, she had a bigger idea, and her record label actually green-lighted a whatever money you want project to record a contemporary Christian album in honor of her grandfather. And the album's called Love Remains. Ricky Skaggs produced it, and Bruce Hornsby's on it, and Stephen Curtis and the Whites. It's really an amazing, amazing project. And before they went in the studio and started recording, they were looking for songs, and Hillary actually poured out her heart in a little email about who her grandfather was, and the father, Lang, sent that to me. And it basically said, you know, she always called her granddaddy Paw, and he called her Sugar Babe, and that he was her safe haven to run to in times of trouble. All that was in a little note. And so the next day, very next day after I got that note, I had a songwriting appointment with Jimmy Fortune, who is the high tenor singer for the Statler Brothers. First song he ever wrote in his life was a #1 song, so I really hate him. Oh, Elizabeth. That's Jimmy Fortune. And Sidney Perry was also in the room. She's the high background singer and fiddle player for Carrie Underwood. Her daddy's a preacher. So we sat in that room, and I read the note, and we thought, let's write a song. She wasn't really asking for songs about her grandfather, but we thought, well, let's write a song, if we can, from that note about him. And that's what we did. And we sent it to the family, and they put it on the album. And Hillary sings the lead on it with the family singing harmony. And the really great news is that 2 years ago, I was in Miami, Florida with my wife to see Andrea Bocelli on Valentine's Day. That was her bucket list thing she wanted to do. And while we were in that hotel room in Miami, my laptop was open because the Grammys were going on. And I got to see the backstage awards, and just before we had to leave, I got to see them accept the Grammy for the Best Contemporary Christian Album of the Year. That this little song is on. My papa was a big old man. He held the world and me in the palm of his hand. He held us all together. The family cornerstone. And his voice was deep just like his faith. And he always called me Sugar Babe. What I wouldn't give to hear I love you one more time. Now he loved to read John 3:16, tap along to hymns we'd sing. He left us so much more than earthly things. Sometimes when there's no answer, no reason for the pain, and I just can't wrap my head around the why of things that come my way. I still believe you hold a place for us in heaven. So even when my faith on earth is shaken, you're my safe haven. You said my home's not here, no, I'm not bound. My hope is built on higher ground. Where I'm going, goodbye don't mean a thing. Yeah, there's gonna be some things I miss, but don't forget God promises we'll be together on the other side. Sometimes for the pain. And I just can't wrap my head around the why of things that come my way. I still believe you hold a place for us in heaven. So even when my faith on earth is shaken, you're my safe haven. Now it's comfort for my heart that breaks to know you're in a better place. And I know I'll see your loving face again. 'Cause I still believe you hold a place for us in heaven. So even when my faith on earth is shaken, you're my safe haven. You're my safe haven. Yeah, my papa was a big old man. He held the world and me in the palm of his hand.
Love that.
Steve talked earlier about the long odds of you try to write a song specifically for someone that never gets recorded, and that is generally true, but I got lucky too with that one because it was so personal about her grandfather and his father. I thought, well, nobody else will even understand the song, and it's turned out to be that that's not true because they get thousands of emails where people relate to that song of losses of their own grandfathers or loved ones, and I really got aware of that a couple of years ago. I get to work on the Grand Canyon Railroad for a week, where they have singers on board. It goes from Williams, Arizona on Route 66 to the South Rim every day with tourists, and there's 3 or 4 entertainers, and you go car to car to car, and you entertain the tourists, and 3 or 4 more cars on the way back. And I worked all week long, and it was just spectacular. If you ever get a chance to do it, go. But the very last day, the very last show I did was upstairs in one of those dome cars. You know, if you've ever seen those, overlooking the Arizona scenery going by. Spectacular. And I walked into that dome, and a lady said, "Are you the guy with the Grammy?" And apparently one of the other young entertainers on the train had tipped them off and told them, "We have a guest this week, a special guest." And so I said, "Well, yes, ma'am." And she said, "Would you please sing that song?" And I said, "Well, I'd love to." I said, "But it's a Christian song and it's pretty serious, and you know." And she said, I just want you to sing that song." And so I said, "Okay." So this is the last song I sang the whole trip. So I sang it for her, and I looked over and she was singing every single word of that song. She had found that, and it had moved her. And when I finished singing, she was crying, and I got a tug on my right elbow, and the lady over here is crying, and she's pointing out the train window as we're going by, and a double rainbow had gone up over the car for that song, you know. So made me believe a little more.
Well, there's that.
Yeah, made me believe a little more.
Very nice. So I had a writing appointment set up with Rodney Atkins once.
Oh man, I was on his diet program for years.
Not that Atkins, different Atkins. A.T.
Oh, I would have sworn. Really?
Promise.
Rob Lowe? Yeah.
Well, so we usually have writing appointments about at the crack of 11. You know, everybody gets down to the writing appointment at 11 o'clock. So Brian White and I had a writing appointment set up with Rodney Atkins one day. And unbeknownst to me, the night before, he was rehearsing a song called Going Through Hell, If You're Going Through Hell. You know that song? You've heard that song, I know it's, but nobody has heard it yet. He's rehearsing it at home. He's going to get ready to go in to record it. And he noticed this little boy who was singing along with him. Going through hell. You know, little 4-year-old getting to say hell and not get in trouble. Son, tomorrow when you go to school, you cannot sing that song. Why, Dad? Because nobody's heard it yet, and the teacher will think you're saying a bad word. Okay. Next morning, about 8:45, my phone rang, and Steve, it's Rod. I'm going to be a little late today. I got to go up to the school. My little boy was singing Going Through Hell. And he had the whole 4-year-old class singing with him.
Yes, sir. My kind of kid right there, young boy.
So I got to go put some fires out.
Yes, sir.
I said, Rodney, don't worry about it. Brian and I both have sons. We get it. So when he finally got to the writing session that day, we had to write this little song. Now, this little song became the most performed song on country radio in 2007. And there was a Country Air Check magazine, which was a chart that was started in 2007, about the time this song came out. And in November of 2017, Country Air Check named this song the song of their first decade. It had the most airplay of any song in that decade.
Wow.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, we thought we'd written a pretty good song.
Ahead of Shebang?
We didn't even, yeah, man.
Wow.
Carrie Underwood was second.
Oh, she was?
Yeah.
Jesus Take the Wheel? What was it?
I don't know which one it was. I didn't look. I just saw mine. I couldn't see any others.
If I'd have killed her when I'd have met her, I'd have been out of jail by now.
It might have been later. Anyway, so when he told us that story, we just had to write this little old song. He said, I've been watching you, that ain't that cool. I'm your buckaroo, I wanna be like you and eat all my food and grow as tall as you are.
Here we go.
'Cause I've been watching you, Dad, ain't that cool? I'm your buckaroo, I wanna be like you and eat all my food and grow as
and there was like 300 kids, and as soon as he hit that first chord, every kid
was singing?
Oh. It was amazing.
I have the same thing happen when I sing Amish. It's amazing. I didn't even know the kids knew about the Amish. It's just mind-blowing, to me, so. Thank you very much. That's all I need, Ezekiel. Always working on songs, always writing new songs. When she asked if I wore boxers or briefs, I said depends. That's all I got so far. By the time I come back here, it'll be finished, so I don't know where we go exactly, but let me play you this little song here. I have a buddy, a really good buddy in Gulf Shores, Alabama. His name is Brent Burns. Plays every Monday night at Lulu's down in the Intercoastal. Jimmy Buffett's sister's place down there. If you ever get a chance, go. Plays beach music. We write a lot of songs together, a lot of silliness together. He has a song he plays for the tourists when they come down there called "If It's Snowbird Season, Why Can't We Shoot 'Em?" And then sells it to those people, which I love. So I was down there once writing with him and said he had an album coming up and we were writing songs for it. I said, man, let's write something about all the people that come down here on the coast and retire, because so many people do. And we wrote this little song, and I thought it was pretty funny. And then I knew it was funny when my phone rang one day and the voice on the other end of the line said, "Is this Bill White?" And I said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "Well, this is Ray Stevens." He said, "I just recorded your song. Would you like to come and hear it?" And I said, "Well, damn, Ray, I just threw a load of whites in the laundry." And pretty much ran to his studio, just him and me, and he played it for me, and it was so cool. The other night he did it on his TV show, which was another little thrill. So for retired people everywhere, we're spending all our kids' money. They're not laughing, but we think it's funny. Retired, bought a Winnebago. Retired, going where we want to go. Retired, to where it's never 10 below. It's a discount world for me since I joined AARP. Retired, walking at the mall, all my friends are dead or going bald. And me, my doctor, he's always on call. Well, I was a corporate leader, now I'm a Walmart greeter, rehired. I saw a gorgeous widow cooter riding on a Vespa scooter with a guy no more than 35. I said, "Are you worried about the difference in your ages?" She said, "Listen, honey, if he dies, he dies." Retired, my working days are in the past. Retired, and I can finally speak my mind at last. Retired, I'm driving slow and saving gas on permanent vacation. Golf is my new vocation. I'm retired. 4, I can't find my reading glasses. My pants need more elastic, and I can't hear it. I put those kids through college. If they got so much knowledge, then why do they keep asking me for dough? The answer's no. Retired. I was a captain in the Navy, and I flew jets, and I drove the women crazy. Romance, no, I haven't gotten lazy. I'm still at attention, no Cialis intervention required. I'd leave a tip, but did I mention that I'm living on a pension, and I'm retired. Yes, I'm retired. Oh, Ray Stevens on right there. Thank you. appreciate that. It's been a little blessing, that song has been. It's right for you. Exactly. Where are we?
Well, I don't know. We're here at,
What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Are you guys good if we do two more apiece? Are you cool? And then we'll wrap up. Can you hang that long? Sure. You know? It's not a choice. I'm just asking. All right, Steve. Two more apiece.
Two more.
Do one of your good ones here.
all right.
Do a hit version.
Yeah, do a hit song. We can see what the guy said.
All right. So we write these songs all the time, every day. It's just like a job. It is a job, really. We clock in, but we never clock out. Anyway, so, it could be a whole year goes by and you've written 100 songs, and you know about this, how this works. And nobody's picked anything up yet. You didn't have a cut in the whole year. And so in one January, though, at the beginning of the year, we got a call from MCA Records that said the Oak Ridge Boys were going to release our song off their new album first. So in January, we knew we were getting a single. We thought, we're going to have a pretty good dang year because, you have to get some action out there before you get paid. I mean, that's just how it works. Anyway, this is one of my favorite songs that I've ever been a part of. And it went to #1 for the Oaks. Right before we were doing a show down in Port St. Joe, Florida, we go down and do a songwriters festival down there called Blast on the Bay. David Preston, who is a BMI rep, he's my rep at BMI, and he just kind of barged onto the stage.
And BMI collects money for the songwriters.
Yeah, and he barged onto the stage and presented me an award for a millionaire award. That's what it's called. Not $1 million, but too bad. But 1 million airplays of this song. And it took 25 years to make 1 million airplays, but you know what? Hey, it made 1 million.
Darn right, it's pretty dang good. Pretty dang good.
It's called It Takes a Little Rain to Make Love Grow.
Yep.
Sometimes we're friends, sometimes we're strangers. little rain to make love grow. It takes a little rain to make love grow.
And yet another number one from the Oak Ridge Boys. I don't want to jinx it, but I'm about 99.9% sure that we're going to have an Oak Ridge Boys cut for Christmas this year, which is exciting to me. And it's not the dog song. It's not too bad. It's not the Christmas song, either of the Christmas songs that Steve and I wrote. I'm Getting Scrooged for Christmas, or It's Okay to Be Gay because it's Christmas. Neither one of those. It's not the song I wrote with Hall of Fame songwriter Jim McBride. It's Ho 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 from the Po Po Pokey. What is it? It's called Snowed In Christmas. It's a really cool song that I wrote with Linda Davis and Bobby Tomberlin. Bobby wrote One More Day for Diamond Rio, that great song. So I'm thrilled about that. That'd be just awesome to happen for sure. Gosh, we have enjoyed being here. We're going to do one more piece. I'm going to do this one for our host, Jim, because he's warped and he loves this song. And I wrote this with an Arkansas native that we talked about earlier, Wood Newton, who was here not too long ago, and I know he sang this song that night. And Jim said, man, you should sing your version of that song. I'd like to hear that. And I had finished a songwriting appointment on Music Row and with Wood, and we went to a little bar together, and I had this little idea for a song. I said, man, Wood, I got an idea for a funny song. I don't know if you would like it or not. And I told him the title of it, and he said, oh my God, and he wrote it down on a napkin. He said, don't tell anybody. He said, we are writing this song. I know you're kind of new here on this side of town, and you may not know how quickly ugly rumors get around. It's about that married woman that you see on the side. Here's some been there, done that, expert, totally free advice. If you're not careful, my wife's gonna leave you. Better not run around, don't be untrue, 'cause I prefer that you keep her so only one of us gets screwed. If you're not careful, my wife's gonna leave you. And there's more. Well, I didn't mean to make you get choked on your beer, but if my wife saw you with that little tramp you drug in here, she'd get so mad it'll hit the fan, and she might come back to me and proceed to make both our lives a total misery. If you're not careful, my wife's gonna leave you. Better not run around, don't be untrue, 'cause I'd prefer that you keep her so only one of us gets screwed. If you're not careful, my wife's gonna leave you. Well, I can't afford a big divorce. I love my house and cars. So why don't you and me just agree to leave things the way they are? You all Sing along if you like. If you're not careful, my wife's gonna leave you. You better not run around. Don't be untrue. I prefer that you keep her. 'Cause I prefer that you keep her so only one of us gets screwed. It's so great to get a whole room singing screwed. If you're not careful, my wife's gonna leave you. If you're not careful, my wife's gonna leave you. There you go. That is intelligent. Yes, that's some kind of intelligence. Yes, it certainly is. One more piece,
All right.
Mr. Dean.
So, I
Don't
guess,
hold nothing back.
okay, I won't.
Go on. Sing this last one topless. That'll get them.
It is an intimate crowd, right?
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, you know, I can't decide if I wanted to do something that y'all probably heard before or something you probably haven't heard before.
Just do what you like.
Do what I like?
Do both of them.
Well, okay.
Getting complicated now.
Do a medley of them. Well, I do. One of my favorite songs ever is a song that Will Ness and Joe Nichols and I wrote together. And it's a one-chord song. Now,
That's my kind of song.
it didn't start out, that was mine too. It didn't start out being a one-chord song. Joe came to this writing point. This was the very first song that I ever wrote with Joe and Will, and he busted into the room and had these big boots on. He kicked my guitar case. He didn't mean to, but he kicked my guitar case across the room, and so excited about it because he had this idea called "Everything's a Thing." And I was like, well, yeah, I really can't argue with that. Will's kind of going, I don't know about that. You can get a whole song out of "Everything's a Thing," you know. Anyway, so we started writing it, and we got most of the lyric done, and it had about, I don't know, 6 chords in it, or 5 chords, some real nice progression, normal progression in a song.
Yeah.
And so Joe looks at his watch, and he goes, oh, God, I got to go to the studio, and after that I've got an interview, and after that I got a photo session. I'll see you guys later. And so he left, and Will looked at me and said, man, do you really like this song we're working on? And I went, well, yeah, I like this lyric a lot, but I've always wanted to write a song that just had one chord in it. He
How
looked at
the
me,
hell lazy can you be, for God's sake?
and he looked at me and said, me too. So, we pulled all those other chords out of this song, and we wrote a one-chord song. And it's been recorded by Joe Nichols on Man with a Memory, also recorded by Craig Morgan.
I really hate you. One chord, 2 artists.
Yeah.
It's always 2 artists.
Anyway,
I bet you're a delight 2 for one night, boy.
I can't take this guy. Anyway, everything's a thing. 2, 3, 4. Well, I hit the snooze when the alarm clock rings. Laying there doing that sleepy dead thing. Down the window, a bird is spreading his wings. Isn't that perfect thing I do when I first get up is the coffee thing in my favorite cup or 2 gets me going, got things to do. Let me tell you a thing or 2. Everything's a thing, if you know what I mean. You can't do nothing 'cause there's no such thing. Some things are big, some things are small. Some mean a lot, some none at all. It's all laid out in the scheme of things. No matter what it is, everything's a thing. Are you with me so far? old Mustang, doing that bumper thing. Up ahead, a ring-a-ling, ding-ding. Some guy's doing that cell phone thing as the lights turn green. He ain't doing that driving thing. The thing is about all this talking thing and driving don't mix. Everything's a thing, if you know what I mean. You can't do nothing because there's no such thing. The things are big, some things are small. Some ain't a lot, some nothing at all. It's all laid out in a scheme of things. No matter what it is, everything's a thing. Hey, no. This is the part of the song that requires a little audience participation. Listen up, you'll know exactly what to say. I know you will. Just say it loud, okay? It's really easy. Here we go. But if you think this song ain't worth humming, you got another thing. Everything's a thing, if you know what I mean. Such thing. Some things are big, some things are small. Some mean a lot, some nothing at all. It's all laid out in the scheme of things. No matter what it is, everything's a thing. Well, everything's a thing. You gotta do your thing. Well, everything's a thing.
Song. You guys have been so great. Thank you guys for having us again. Man, we just enjoy your company.
There it is right there.
And if you would, give it up for Sean again, too.
Sean!
Right. Enjoy hearing your music. We get done, we're going to go right out to the kitchen. We both of us have CDs. Steve's $10, mine are $15. Mine are $5 extra because they're damn funny. I'm not moving. But come take home a musical souvenir. You know, if you're not careful, my wife's going to leave you. It's on the one that's got the rubber chicken on the front of it.
Of course.
This last little song is going to explain why there's a damn rubber chicken on the cover of the album here for you. Half of the proceeds, we both decided that half the proceeds of our sales tonight will go towards buying Bruce Jenner a new javelin. So you do some.
I don't think so.
No?
Nobody's buying that.
No? And we would love for you to pick up a little musical souvenir, but if you don't, that's fine. We still want to shake your hand and get to know you a little bit. And although I'll be honest, we do tend to spend a little more time with those of you that actually buy something. You just do what's in your heart, and I know. I think the world needs to laugh more and not less. That's why I write a lot of funny songs. I've done some stand-up comedy through the years. That's the most frightening thing I've ever done in my life, but I've learned an awful lot about watching comedians and how they pace and how they write. And I love watching them make folks laugh and getting to do that myself, so. Comedians see everything funny upside down. You just don't miss the funny. Like funny signs. North of Nashville, there's a sign that I didn't miss. It's Nervous Nellie's Fireworks and Liquor Stand. Bob's Veterinarian and Taxidermy Service. I pulled over over. They said, no matter, they told me, they said, no matter what happens with your pet here, you get it back, one way or the other. This is a song about lightening up just a little bit in your life and laughing a little more. I went fishing down by the river where the muddy water meets the dam. I saw old Joe and he was reeling. Said, grab that net, boy, give me a hand. He stuck the handle down in the water and I heard him cackle when he pulled it in. It wasn't catfish, weren't no trophy. It was a yeller rubber chicken. I said, old Joe, you must be crazy. He said, maybe, but here's what I know. Don't take yourself all that serious and leave them laughing when it's time to go. Ba-da-da-da-da, 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 ba-da-da-da. Man, you folks are ahead of me tonight. That is the participatory part of the song. Next time around, a little louder. We fished for hours. He said, I'm sorry, we didn't catch one doggone thing, unless you count that rubber chicken. And he started cackling once again. When I got home, showed it to my family, my yellow rubber trophy catch. My wife said, baby, you should mount it. My boy said, yeah, Dad, like Billy Bass. And we stayed up past their bedtime. There was no fire, but you could feel the glow. And I could hear that old man cackling. Leave them laughing when it's time to go. Here we go. Ba-da-da-da, 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 ba-da-da-da. Now we're going to do that one more time at the end. Let's blow the roof off Jim's place here. Like your Baptists with Tupperware bowls. Burp your bowls. When old Joe died, they held his funeral down by that muddy riverside. 500 folks went down to see him, and I went early to be the first in line. Paid my respects and thanked the old man, and as I turned to walk away, I heard the sound Joe most cherished on his happy funeral day. And when I die, return the favor, put off your tears, put off your woe, and leave a chicken in my coffin like I did for my friend Joe. Yeah, leave a chicken in my coffin and leave them laughing when it's time to hear we go. Come on now. One more time. Man, you folks are gonna hate me tomorrow, 'cause you ain't gonna get that out of your head.